Start that over. Oh, good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, October 8th, 2024. Holy cow. We have a jam-packed show this morning. We've got, my goodness. Well, obviously our football picks, arms standoff in Sawyer County. I know that you were a part of that. We'll get to that. There was a couple of sentencings in Burnett County that kind of stemmed from press releases that you've done that we've, as you know, follow every story to the end. We have some really positive stories in the area that I want to talk about. I can't wait for today's show. But first, for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you are watching The Big Show, Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience as locally owned and operated business, provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today. See what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Hockey weekend, right?
Hockey, one home, one away, split for the weekend, so pretty good. Yeah, we got to talk about dumpster fires today too.
Oh yeah, we will bring that up. Yeah, that's really good. That's part of our feel-good stuff. Some positivity towards the end of the show.
Did you go outside and look at the? No, this is a dumb question I'm asking you, but did you go outside and look at the lights?
I didn't even know it was happening, to be honest.
So I laid down in bed and then I was looking at Facebook. I'm like, I got to go outside and see these lights, and then I couldn't see nothing. So then I was mad. Then I was going to get in the car, and then I'm like, heck with it. I'm not gonna. But
I saw pictures on
the city here.
You can't see. Oh, I saw the photos on.
They were cool, but you must have to drive in the country to see it.
Yeah, that figures. Hey, good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, I was just talking
Mike
to him.
on the show.
Yeah, we should. Oh, you know, we really should. I was actually I talked to him recently because it's need to. There's a lot of we had some politicians on talking about healthcare, and he's like, right. So, so we should have him on. Good morning, Adam Jarkow. Yes, I did shave. I looked in the mirror the other day and I thought to myself, is there any way that I could make my face look fatter? I know. I'll shave my face. So, yeah, and good morning, obviously, Dirk, and to Sharon. Dirk called last week on Tuesday to say congratulations on our 9-year anniversary of Dryden Wires. So that was very nice of him, right? It's the little things that make a big difference. And we have some of those stories at the end. But first, real quick before we get to, real stuff, our football picks. You had a rough weekend.
Obviously, I did.
You're 1 for 4. Yeah. I think I have our. This is where we are through week 5.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of it.
Yeah. That's all right. We still have. It's only week 5. There's 18 weeks. So here are the picks that we already decided we're going to pick. These 4. Now remember. So it says 49ers at Seahawks. When it says San Francisco minus 2.5, that means they're the favorite.
Right.
So who do you have? 49ers or Seahawks?
I'm taking the Seahawks.
All right. I'm going 49ers. 49ers are really banged up, but the Seahawks, I don't know. That's a good pick. Maybe I should change it. No, okay, I'll stay 49ers. All right, Jaguars and Bears. The Bears have been looking good the last 2 weeks, but they're playing, really bad teams, and the Jaguars are a dumpster fire. So I'm going to go Bears on that one.
I'll take the Bears too.
All right. Cardinals at Packers. I'm really surprised that the betting line is -5 for the Packers. That means they're favored by 5.
Right.
I'm a little surprised by that much, but I do still think they're going to win, so I'll go Packers.
Yeah, they're at home. They should win. Yeah. Packers.
And Lions at Cowboys. Detroit by 3.5. Cowboys are like Cowboys are like Donald Trump, like the sports version, where everybody has a strong opinion. You either love them or you hate them, right. But you have a strong opinion about them. That's a tough one. I'm gonna pick an upset and go the Cowboys there.
I'm taking the Cowboys too.
All right. So
won't change your pick much. Only one difference, but you can come back.
Well, little things make a big difference.
That's right.
Just slow and steady. Yeah. And a lot of upsets in college football this last weekend.
Huge.
Number 1, number 4, number 9, 10, and 11 all lost.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Your Michigan Wolverines aren't looking too good.
No, I don't think they stayed. They stayed in the top 25, but barely.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, we have to get to some things, including the armed standoff in Sawyer County, which was an overnight thing. You were a part of that. We'll get to all that in 15 seconds after a word from Spooner Health.
Spooner Health, compassion is at the center of everything we do. It's rooted in who we are and why we're here. It unites us as providers, neighbors, and as a community. Learn more at spoonerhealth.com.
And good morning, Carol. I see that she just chimed in there. So our first story here, this was actually a press release from Sawyer County. Our headline was Armed Standoff in Sawyer County Ends with Suspect Hospitalized After Self-Inflicted Gunshot. I got obviously a lot of messages about that on Friday morning. This would be last Friday morning, so this happened on Thursday night overnight. And I remember texting Doug, Sheriff Moretek, at 8:30, and he usually, he gets back to me quickly. He calls at 10 and goes, "I just woke up." I'm like, 10 o'clock? You're just waking up? And he said, "I didn't get home until 8 o'clock. I've had 2 hours of sleep." And he had mentioned, and he gave you a lot of praise too, because apparently you were there. But first, for the people who don't know what this was about, what was it about? And then kind of walk us through from your experience being a part of this.
So Sawyer County called us about 8:30 on Thursday night, maybe about 8:45, and needed some equipment. Didn't need our whole SWAT team, needed some equipment. We sent 2 operators of our armored vehicle up. I don't like to send our operators up into another county so that they have to make decisions. I like to be there. So my chief deputy and I both decided we weren't doing nothing, so we both went up there also. And obviously I know Doug, and I don't mind going up there and seeing his operation. And it's always fun to sit back and observe somebody else's operation, and maybe you can change yours and learn from it. We learn from
and
each other.
critique them. Come on, right? I would do that.
Right. And Doug, why would you do that?
Right.
Actually, his team is awesome. They did an awesome job, but they were there on a kind of a battery type call where somebody had gotten beat up, and they needed to take the person into custody. Whoa, you there?
Yeah.
Lost everything here. Hang on. Are you there now?
Yeah, we're still here, and we can see and hear you.
Huh. I got nothing on my screens. All
What?
my screens are blank. Yeah, it's still loading. Well, that's good.
What's loading?
But I don't know. My screens, I don't have nothing. It's weird. I don't even know where you are.
Do you want to sign out and sign back in?
No, I think I got it. There. Now I'm here.
Oh.
But that was super weird. I don't know what happened.
Bizarre.
All my screens went black. Yeah.
And we can see and hear you. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so they had called their SWAT team out already while they were up there, and they have 2 armored vehicles, and their teams combined with Washburn, Burnett, and Sawyer. And actually, I think they had 3 armored vehicles, 2, 3, I don't know.
Total, I thought I heard it was almost 6.
Well, yeah, there ended up being there 6 there when we got going. So anyway, they needed ours has a ram on the front, and they needed to punch some doors while they watched some corners. So the subject was in there and needed to get taken into custody. He had a firearm, or allegedly had a firearm. Our team went in and smashed their doors for him, whatever they needed, and backed off. As we did that, then they have a robot. Doug's team has a robot that they threw in there, just like on TV, to keep our people safe. And as they threw the robot in there and went in there, the subject started shooting at the robot. So literally live bullets coming through the walls. One struck our vehicle and one struck the Sawyer County vehicle. And
the SWAT vehicles or just the police squads?
No, our armored vehicles.
Okay.
We didn't have any police cars. So our armored vehicles, and that's why we have them.
Right.
I know some people are like, "Oh, we shouldn't have these military vehicles and all this." No.
Yeah, we call these people
exactly
idiots.
Why?
Right. Yeah.
Because no one got hurt, and ultimately, then we called more teams because obviously he raised the bar of how we're going to handle this, and so then we called our team, and they called the regional team out of Superior. So it ended up starting at about 8:45. I walked in my door at 7:05 in the morning. I was an all-nighter. Ultimately, as Sheriff Moretek said, the subject has a self-inflicted gunshot wound. DCI is investigating it. There's more to come on this case, but no shots were fired by law enforcement. No lethal shots were fired by law enforcement. We fired.
I heard a lot of tear gas and gas. Like I've heard from multiple officers that said that the place looked like it was on fire. Like that's how much was pumped in there, which is good, right? These are non-lethal ways of resolving something. But I heard there was a lot pumped in there.
Yeah, Superior's got a pretty neat gas pumper. I don't know what they call it, but it's pretty neat. It was pretty cool. I'd never seen one before. But yeah, I got to work with.
Hold on, is that the one that you can kind of like the armored or like the what, the thing that sticks out the front, like on a like on a tank or something like that, whatever that's called, the arm, and it goes into the house, and then it can just pump out a
Like
whole bunch of.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't get to see it up close, obviously, because we were back. But yeah, he had fired off quite a few rounds at us, and then ultimately, I don't know the outcome of that case and what will happen in charges because it's not my county. But hats off to Sheriff Morotek and his team. They did an awesome job. His SWAT commander. That's a lot of SWAT people. There was probably 50 cops there, 45 cops there.
I had heard 50 to 60.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we had 15, they had 15, and Superior had 15. So, if you don't count all of us on the perimeter too, I mean, so it all worked out well. All the cops went home. Obviously, the bad guy has got some injuries, but it sounds like he'll be okay. I don't know the outcome of that, but the cops went home. The bad guy's in custody, and that's what it's about.
When I saw the press release when Doug had put that out, I'm like, Jason Arnold. I feel like I know that name. And I looked on our Dryden website, and we've done stories on him. He had like the multi-vehicle pursuit chase, and then there were some questions about his mental capacity to stand trial, but then they found him competent. So I think we did like 4 or 5 stories on that individual already. So
I don't know him, but
hopefully, jeepers, I'm glad that nobody else was in the house, right? It was just him.
In the beginning, there was someone in there, and that's where this fight happened or whatever happened.
Okay.
But then she had left the house. So,
very good. So I'm glad nobody else was hurt.
Exactly. No one was hurt. Obviously, the suspect was, and we don't want that. I mean, he could have came out, ended this at 8:30, and he'd still be in the same spot he was, only less, with a less problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't. That's why we have these armored vehicles. It could have been an officer that. Our bulletproof vehicles stop the bullets. And this is probably the first time in a long time that back to the Dan Glaze era, that's when I remember they were shooting at our armored vehicles. So, and that was, a few years ago. So that's why we have them. All the cops went home. We know that's the number one thing when we go out on a call like that. But it was a little, all of a sudden you heard, we're back farther away from the scene, and all of a sudden you hear gunshots, and the good guys aren't shooting because they tell us when they're gonna. And then you're like, uh-oh. And so it wasn't fun. I mean, ultimately it was a good training, not training. It was a good training.
Well, it still is, great, right?
We work together, and we don't normally work with Washburn, Sawyer, and Burnett counties because, they have 3 teams, so they always have enough people. But it was great training for us. It was good lessons. We used every piece of equipment we had on everybody's team. Good sharing of resources. It was great. Sheriff Morotek did a fabulous job up there. And again, the number one goal: bad guys in custody, good guys go home. That's it. That's the number one goal.
I remember when Dad was
quarterback all day long, but we're not gonna.
Right.
We won't dance that dance.
I remember when Dad when he was still sheriff, probably about the last year or two. They were given basically like these SWAT vehicles, and I can't remember I think maybe they were Humvees, and they were going to turn them into SWAT vehicles. So they were donated, but they're in Florida, so they had to go and get them, right? And then he had to outfit them and stuff. And boy, we did a story on that, and I was really surprised how many people were upset.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to cost you $4,000 just to go and get them. It's like, yes, but they're giving them to us. I mean, what? And we're militarizing our law enforcement. It's what in the world? Are you kidding? But I think that's kind of died down now, right? I think for the most part, really understand the importance of having these.
Well,
the armored vehicles.
I mean, we want to have, just to have ARs in our vehicles. We want to have bulletproof everything we can possibly bulletproof. We don't want to go to cops' funerals. We've done that here in Northwest Wisconsin, and we don't want to do that again. And that is my number one goal, and there's a number one goal that I'll stand up for in front of whatever county board and get whatever piece of equipment I feel we need. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed that our county board has let us get the equipment we have. Let us go to the training we have. We have a great. And some days it's a fight, and some days you lose, and some days you win. But they've let us develop. They've let me build the department I have here. And I'm blessed with the people I have and the equipment I have and the leadership we have from a county board, from Jeff Wrench on down, and to make it all happen. So that's what we do, and that's what the people, like Lisa says, we need to keep us all safe, and that's what it is. Whether you live in Barron County, Washburn County, Sawyer County, Burnett County, when the police need something, a piece of equipment, if it's people like you that will make the difference on the vote, it's at the county boards. If no one's there, and you're a county board rep now, if no one's there except the sheriff asking for a piece of equipment, well, like, he's always up there asking. But if 10 people come in and say, protect our cops, you're like, that's 10 voters that just told me which way I should vote, and I represent the people. I'm voting for the piece of equipment or whatever it is. So people make the difference, and it's more important than ever. We talk about voting and everything in the next 30 days. It's more important than ever to, and I'm not saying presidential, because I actually think the lower people have more power. It's the Congress and our assembly and all those people that have the power that really make things happen. It's not the governor and the president, to be honest. But your vote's going to matter. So I think it's important that you reach out. You don't have to go to the meeting, but you can reach out to the Ben Drydens of the world and say, you represent me and I want you to vote for this. And if 10 people call you, and I don't know, you probably don't get a lot of calls.
Right. It just does.
It's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So,
and that's already happened before. That's already happened where I've had a few constituents after I'd voted no on something and it didn't get passed. No, it did get passed, but I did vote no. And then I had a few people reach out and they were not happy. Not necessarily with me because I'd voted no, but it was, what are we doing? But because of them, I then talked to other board supervisors or like trying to figure out like, okay, can we do anything with this, passing it along? And that ended up going back onto a board agenda item through a series of things, and we ended up making some edits and some changes to it. But it started with somebody reaching out.
Right. So it is important. I think it's
super important.
And especially when it comes to it, I mean, I don't like buying $100,000 in equipment. I'm not saying we are. But these things are expensive. These plates we put in our vests, these armored vehicles, these other things, and we need to keep them upkeep and keep them, so they work when we go out there. It starts right away, etc. So,
we need to keep the people safe that keep us safe, right?
Correct.
So that's kind of a no-brainer.
Good way of looking at it. Keeping us safe. Yeah, we should probably put that on a sticker or something.
You should. Exactly right. All right. I'm glad everyone was safe. And I heard that Doug Morotek did a great job and his team up there. And this is another one of those things where everyone kind of comes together in law enforcement. They all help each other out. And granted, it's up in Sawyer, but these are just arbitrary county lines. What affects Sawyer affects Barron, and it goes on and on. All right, let's move on to the next one. I don't have this up. I don't know if you do. The next two, I forgot to print them out. Our headline was Court Sentences First of Two Charged in Barron County Burglary. That stemmed from a press release that you had done a while ago. Again, I don't have it up. Are you familiar with that case, and are you happy with the sentence, which I don't even remember what the sentence is right now?
It was 7 years. Mers and Lefevre's were each charged with Class D or Class F felonies, the burglary. Judge Lawton ordered Lefevre's to serve 7 years sentence with 4 years initial confinement in state prison by 3 years extended supervision.
So 4 and 3.
Yep, 4 and 3, 100%. That's the only one that's been sentenced so far.
And are you happy with that outcome in that case? Do you recall, fill people in on what that was? Because that originally started from a press release from you.
Yeah, that was a burglary. He had done some burglaries to the sand plant over by Chautauqua, and then with probably some other burglaries in the area. But it was over $300,000 worth of equipment, and he's got to pay that back also. So total restitution was $700,000, which I don't hope they're not holding their breath. I don't think they're getting it, but I don't know. My guess that they're not going to get their $700,000. Although, you know what, they
can dock people's pay, whatever that's called. I can't remember what it is. Like it starts with a D, I think.
We had about 2 years ago, we had a damage to our squad car from a chase, or somebody hit our squad car. I can't remember the old details behind it. And we were getting like $50 a month, and it was paid off finally. The guy paid it off. Hats off to him. He paid off his restitution, and we got all of our money back. Whatever he owed us, whatever the judge ruled, it took him a couple years, but he paid it off. So hats off to him. I mean, it wasn't $700,000. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't like just it may take him his whole life. It could be like a college school loan where,
Right.
frick, I'll be paying this till I'm dead, right? It could be one of those, right? Because I think they can kind of dock your pay.
They can't
What's
dock
that
your
word
tax
called?
return.
Can't think of the word. But they can
Yeah.
take money out of your paychecks. But
Right.
obviously, they can't take like 1,000 out if you're only making 2,000. They can only use like
Right.
up to a percentage.
It's a percentage.
Right? So you can make, but you just can't like not pay that, right? There's no way you can
No,
not.
they can. Right.
It just may take you your whole life.
Right.
Well,
It may. So anyway, that one was good. I'm very pleased with that outcome. I mean, I don't think it's. I mean, I don't, like I said, the $700,000 is probably a figment of their imagination, but the 4 years and 3, I can live with that. That's a good caught. Our detectives did a very good job of that one, interviewing people, getting people. We had to do a lot of work to get that one, so I'm glad that worked out really well.
And it was Judge Lawton, right?
Lawton.
Yeah.
Right.
How's he doing down there?
I think he's doing great. I'm happy with that one. So
Yeah. All right. 1 for 1. All right.
I don't know if that was his first one or not.
I don't know. All right.
No, really good. Our judges got it going on here. It's been he fits in very well with our system. He cares about the people of Barron County, and it's been great.
Garnish
Garnish your wages. There
Thank you.
go.
Well, I don't know why I thought it started with a D, but garnish. Thank you. I was driving me crazy. All right. So next one was first of 2 charged in Barron County violent home invasion incident sentenced. That was an insider story. We just put that up yesterday. Again, I apologize. I forgot to print that out. I think that may have started from your press release as well.
That was City Barron.
Oh, City of Barron.
City Barron had a armed assault home invasion, and I don't know the outcome of that one because I'm not an insider.
Yes, you are.
No, I don't think I am.
Well, you were before.
I think I was, but I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
all right,
have
hold
it.
on.
I can't remember my login then, so I don't have it.
Aye.
I don't
Here
know
it
what
is.
the outcome was.
Dominguez is scheduled to. Okay, that's one of them. So this one is it Charpentier? Charpentier entered a plea of guilty to his charge of Class C felony armed robbery, increased penalty for an elder person victim, use of a dangerous weapon, party to a crime. He appeared most recently on October 2nd, so last week, and Judge Lawton ordered. We'll see if he's 2 for 2 here. We'll find out.
Drum roll.
Judge Lawton ordered Carpentier to serve a 12-year sentence with 5 in and 7 out, with 7 years of extended supervision. Conditions of supervision require Carpentier to make payments towards the restitution total, which is in excess of $16,000. So he got a 12-year sentence with 7 in, 5 out, and has 16 grand. What do you think of that one?
That one's great too. That one was a very serious crime. Probably could have been a little bit longer. I mean, that was a home invasion with a weapon. Elderly gentleman. But 7 years. I mean, we have murderers that only getting 12. So, I think we're in the right ballpark. I mean, there's people that are going to feel that's too much, and there's people that feel that's not enough. If I'm the victim, it's probably not enough. But 7 years from now, hopefully he changes his life around.
Yeah, no, I like that one. All right, 2 for 2. I guess we're liking him.
Yeah, I guess we are
so far
this week.
Yeah, this week. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll keep it updated. I should start keeping a running tab on all these things.
Yeah, you're 80%.
No. All right, we have some positive things I want to get to. We had a story here that was from last week. It was Sheriff Tracy Finch. Our headline was Deputy Noah Barker receives a life-saving award from Burnett County Sheriff Tracy Finch. Did you see that story?
I did. I briefly saw it. Yeah.
Okay. What were your thoughts? So he had saved this kid from choking.
Right. Yeah, I think this is what we need to do, and I need to do a better job of this. This is one thing I think Sheriff Finch does really well is promote them, and I try to promote these positive things, but it's just you can't get to everything. But I think we need to do this, and I don't think you need to do it spectacular, but you need to put these in front of the county board, in front of the media, because I think what our deputies do on a daily basis is good. some of this prevention that we can't measure. I mean, this is why we put our cops in the street, to do these things and to save lives. And so I think it was awesome. The kid was choking and he saved the kid. I mean, that's just what we train him to do. And hats off to the deputy and to Sheriff Finch for making all that happen.
Yeah, it says here, thanks to his quick thinking and professional training, Deputy Barker was able to immediately assess the situation. He successfully cleared the obstruction from the child's throat, a large round plastic piece, by opening the infant's mouth, depressing the tongue, and removing the object. Once the obstruction was removed, the child's breathing returned to normal. In a letter of commendation, Sheriff Finch expressed her sincere gratitude for Barker's calm and swift response, which likely saved the child's life. Quote, if it weren't for your quick and calm response coupled with training, the child could have been seriously injured or worse. And there's more to that as well. Tracy, but Sheriff Finch better be careful. She starts giving these awards out, you're going to probably start poaching all of these deputies. Like, hey, that sounds like a really good deputy. I should bring him over to Barron County.
Put that guy on my list. We got a little running over here.
That guy on my list.
He just went up 2 slots. No.
Yeah. It's like your draft board.
Right. It's like my draft board.
Yeah, but honestly, I love hearing those stories. People on social media love that story, right? This is some of the positive things that happen in our communities. And you're 100% right. Tracy Finch does a really good job of recognizing her team when, it's not just, I don't think she's wow, you came to work on time, here's a trophy, right? That's not Tracy, but if you earn it, then she'll give you recognition. And you do that a lot too. But I love hearing those stories. I really do.
I think they're good. We should do it more. I agree.
The other one was just yesterday. Our headline was, this was in Polk County, but you and I have talked about it before on the show because we've done some for Barron. The headline was, Polk County Treatment Court celebrates success as 3 graduates turn their lives around. Whoever wrote this did a brilliant job.
Right.
First of all, it was such a great, great story. I think sometimes people, don't like seeing what in the world are we doing all this stuff for? Just throw them in jail. And sometimes I'm part of that, right? Just throw everybody in prison. But when it comes to this stuff, if for the right person in the right situation, these drug courts are wildly important. Did you see that? And is this stuff that is just kind of still echo what you kind of believe? If it's the right one, this really makes a big difference in our communities.
Yeah, I think we give everyone in our system, both Polk, Barron, Sawyer, Washburn, Burnett, wherever it is in Northwest Wisconsin, we give everybody a chance. You can turn your life around and in front of the judge and say, Judge, give me one more chance. I'm going to make a difference. And some people need a little guidance. Some people don't. And some people say, no, I'm not going to follow the rules, or they ask for it and then they don't follow the rules. So I think everybody needs a chance. And I think we give plenty of chances, probably too many, but in the end, it all works out good. These people go through a lot, and I think you're right. I think it's well written in the fact that they tell you about what they've gone through.
Yeah.
But some people don't support this, and I'm like, well, that's fine. You can not support it, but I think we need to not have people in our jail. The idea is to have people with their families in the community making a difference. And I think now you have 3 people that aren't in jail that are making a difference in the Polk County area. And hats off to them for doing it.
Yeah. In the article, and I like this. By the way, we should talk about that. Polk County has a position that they hired a few years ago. It was brand new. And I've always thought all the counties should have this. This is the person that's like the media person, like a liaison person. And they do other roles too, but with the exception of the sheriff's office, because they do their own press releases, everyone else, if there's bats with rabies or something, it gets filtered through this person, and they basically either help write it, or maybe they just write the press release or the announcement, and they're the ones that send out to media. And it really allows them to put a little more time and effort into it. I really think a lot of counties should go that route. But in here, they actually detailed out some of this stuff, which I did not know this was a part of it. This one says that, where is it? They talk about how much time. There we go. By graduation, Nicholas, that's one of the 3, had attended 35 treatment court status hearings, attended over 112 support meetings, gave 150 negative drug and alcohol tests throughout his time in treatment court, completed over 85 hours of community service, and was 323 days sober. Travis attended 47 hearings, 231 support meetings, 197 negative drug and alcohol tests, completed over 60 hours of community service, and was 605 days sober in the program. And the last one, Nikki attended 73 court status hearings, 216 support meetings, 228 negative drug and alcohol tests throughout her time, and completed 85 hours of community service and 227 days sober in the program. I'm so glad they put that in there, because I didn't actually realize how, I don't know if intensive is the right word, but how much, how many things they have to do. I didn't know that. I mean, this is not like, okay, just go take a class. Because honestly, I kind of feel like that's what it was, right? Take a class, pee in a cup, all right, get out of here. I didn't know there was so many things that you have to do.
Yeah. No, our family drug treatment court, which is similar to, we have a drug court and a family drug treatment court, and they have to do a lot. It's not simple to do, and if they don't do it, they either go to jail. I mean, again, I lean towards we give them a break or 2 breaks, but we're giving a couple too many breaks. But it's an addiction. I understand that, and there's people that fight for these people for the first time probably ever, somebody fighting for them. So I think they work in certain situations, and I think at sometimes we have to say, you've had enough chances, it's time to go back to prison or wherever. I don't think we throw in the towel. We maybe hang on a little too long when we could help more people. That would be my only frustration with it. Nothing's perfect, but we are helping a lot of people, and it's working, whether it's our GED program or our drug treatment court or our family court or Polk counties or Washburns or whoever's. So I also think we're giving people a chance because we don't want them in jail. We want them to be with their families and productive members of society. And we just got 3 more doing that. So that's great.
Yeah, because you got to be careful. If you get 6 OWIs, you could be spending some time in jail. So,
yeah, a year or so.
Good Lord. No, this stuff is, it's, I think it's important, but I think you hit it right on the head when you said it's a certain situation, the right person. And I'm sure there are some that have tried to go through this and they couldn't do it. Maybe they just didn't want to do it. But if this gets these people the help that they need, and they want that help, because you have to want it. I think you've mentioned that many times. You have to want the help. But then they can go back out into society and back into our communities. And I mean, those are great success stories. I love that. And I don't know how many of those 3, of these programs, what percentage of people fail out of it, right? They don't pass their urine tests or the drug tests, and they don't go to the meetings, and then it's like, all right, fine. But the ones that do make it, that's what it's for. Let's say even if there was like 20 of them and only 3 graduated, and I have no idea how many. It could have literally just been 3 and 3. But even if it was like a 3 out of 20, hey, that's 3 people that can now go back, that got the help they need, and they're going to go back and contribute to our communities. That's a total success.
Yeah, and I that's the way I used to look at it, because our numbers weren't that good. And I'm like, we're wasting a lot of time and energy. But then you look at one person can save the county $100,000 by putting them with their kid or whatever it is. That's big tax money. So you got to think bigger. They've changed my mind in learning more about this. So I think it works out good.
So I had said earlier that Dirk had called. So last Tuesday was our 9-year anniversary at Dryden. And Dirk had called me and said, I was going to comment on your Facebook page, but I figured, a phone call would be better. So we had a nice conversation. I love Dirk so much. But also Tuesday, I get a text from Warren Tuttle, a sheriff's deputy, Warren. Well, you've met Warren, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So I get a text from him and asked if I was around. I'm like, actually kind of busy at the moment, because he was going to stop by. I guess it was his day off of work. And I never heard back from him, so I just kind of dismissed it. And then Drusha got home from work that day at the DA's office, and she handed me an envelope. And it had a handwritten letter, which who writes letters anymore? And with a coin in it. It was a challenge coin. I'm like, what in the world is this? And it said, hello, Ben. I collect challenge coins and came across this one. I thought of you right away. I'm pretty sure I've heard you guys, you and I, use the phrase dumpster fire more than once. P.S. Happy anniversary. Congratulations on the accomplishments. And I have mine here, and apparently he said that he sent one to you. I don't know if you got it. You did get it. So
I did get it.
I took a photo. So this is what it is. That's the front and back, and it says, "The strongest steel is forged in the fire of a dumpster."
I love it.
That is,
I got it right here on my desk.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's important. And again, we have bad days, and sometimes this is what holds it together. And some days you have dumpster fires and you come out of it, and some days you're like, that is a dumpster fire I don't want to get into. So,
Yeah.
but no, I really appreciate it, Warren. That's a
No
heck
kidding.
of a thing to remember. But yeah, I mean, just to have this, I mean, this is a keepsake. This is one.
Yep.
I'm trying to make a wall with all my coins, but this one's going in the front right next to my sheriff one, because this one's cool.
It is. I'm keeping it right on. I have mine as well. I'm keeping it right on my desk because
I think we should put Dryden wire on one side and the dumpster fire on the other.
Ooh, we should do one of those. Ooh, we should do a positive Tuesday. How easy is it to make these challenge coin things? Because I mean, this is nice and it's really heavy.
Yeah. Well, they're $5 or $6 a piece. I don't know how many minimum you have to order, but
we should get some positive Tuesday ones.
Yeah, there you go. With a dumpster fire.
With a dumpster fire. Yeah.
Some days it
is.
And
we do tend to use the word dumpster fire quite a bit. I'm like, yeah, you're right, Warren. I guess I didn't realize that.
We probably might a lot more now.
Yeah, probably. And now we have something to reference. But still, like, no kidding. Kind of like when Dirk had called, for Warren to take the time to do that, right? And then to mail out and send it to you.
I got a different letter, but it's hats off to him for thinking of us. And he called me a mentor, and I think he's a mentor. I think what he does is pretty awesome. No one of us is better than anyone else, and we all just work together and we get the job done. And that's why we're blessed to have Warren on our team, and it's great.
Yeah, and I believe he's running for sheriff, so keep that in mind, folks. He gives coins. No, I think he is, right? Oh, yeah, so when I was talking to Doug Morotek that Friday morning about that situation happened overnight, and it was off the record. It wasn't for a story, but I said, this is, out until 8 in the morning, only 2 hours of sleep. This is a young man's game. Are you going to miss it? Because my understanding was, he's not going to be running for sheriff. I don't know if that's official or not. It was just, as of right now, not planning on running for re-election. And we ended up talking a little bit more about it, and he said that he talked to you about it a little bit overnight. Just the fact that, Chris, you may be the last sheriff in our area in a couple of years, because Dennis, the Washburn County Sheriff, has, again, none of this is official, right? There's no press releases, no anything. But for the last few months, he has let many people know that he isn't planning on running again. Brent Walk, same thing. He's not running again. Sheriff Finch, not running again. I'd be surprised if Jeff Wallace runs again. I think he kind of got talked into running the last time when he wanted to retire.
I don't think I can talk him into it again.
Right. So it's out of the 6 counties, we're going to have 5 new sheriffs, or likely to have 5 new sheriffs, and you're the only one there. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
So it'll be weird. It'd be super weird not to have those 5 mentors with me. It'll be super weird, but I mean, obviously I have to win too, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. So, I just hope they have good people putting in line, and I hope Warren considers it again if the sheriff's
he's
not
running. No,
it.
he's made that very clear. Like when he lost, because he did run and he had lost it, he said, "No, I'm totally in." Like he has not been secretive about that at all. He's like, "I'm absolutely running again." And I don't think anybody else in Washburn, honestly, I don't even know if he's going to have any competition. And that'll be the interesting part. And that's what I was talking to Doug about. I'm like, but who really wants those jobs anymore? Like, it's hard to get people on county boards. You have to almost give those seats away. It's hard for anyone to run in the assembly or the Senate. Like, nobody wants these elected positions anymore. Yeah. Especially with overtime. Your deputies, you probably have deputies making more money. Well, maybe not you if you don't have overtime, but there's some counties that have a lot of overtime because of staffing issues. There's deputies making more than the sheriffs.
100%. So the sheriffs are underpaid in the area. I mean, I get paid a good wage, but not compared to other not county administrator, not Jeff French. Obviously I shouldn't make more than him, but I think if you look at the list, I think I'm number 8 or 9 of all the department heads in Barron County. I'm the only 24/7 operation. I don't have the biggest budget because obviously highway and human services are bigger budgets, and I don't think I should make more than the county administrator or our legal team, like John Minch, but I don't like that there's other department heads that make more than me, but that's being the elected official. You're not in this for the money, and I'm not in it for the money. I'm blessed by the wage I get paid. So, but when you compare me to other wages across Barron County and other sheriffs in the area and things like that. So
yeah, that work 8 to 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
and don't get shot at.
I can work less. You're exactly right. I only have to work 1 day every 4 years. Everybody always tells me that, but if you don't stay ahead of the game, you're behind, and you don't want to be behind, and that leads to issues. And so you got to stay ahead of the game. But anyway, I do it because I love it, not for the money. But
But the money does suck. I mean, that is one of the contributing factors why a lot of people don't want to run for things. I mean, county board's a little bit different, but they don't get paid. You just get paid to go to a meeting. But the assembly is like $50,000. No, $50,000's $50,000. I totally get it.
Right.
But you only have a 2-year job because you don't even know if you'll get reelected again. And then all the traveling and back and forth, and then you have to go all the parades of the summer, and just the nightmare and the headache of dealing with people that just flat out hate you because you have an R or a D next to your name. Like, they don't even know you. It's like, what? Like, who would want that job? Like, no job security, money that isn't even guaranteed for very long, and just a lot of negativity and hate. I don't know. Anybody that runs for those offices, hats off to you. No kidding, because why?
But the strongest steel is forged in a dumpster.
I love it. I love it. All right, Dirk, if you have the weather forecast. By the way, Dirk, so since I've been able to, quickly do things like this, the things I brought up, Dirk, going forward, if you want, or maybe I'll talk to you sometime this week or later today, if you want to actually send yours like beforehand, like in the morning, whether it's a graph or something, instead of just waiting to the end of the show to type it all in, send it to me, and then I can just use that as an image. So, all right, what do you have coming up this week, Fitzy, while we wait for Dirk's official weather forecast?
Meetings. Lots of meetings this week. I don't think we have anything major going on. There's lots of meetings. So probably got some hockey this weekend, and so that's about it.
Well,
good weather, looks like. Maybe it's cold in the morning, warm in the afternoon. So
there we go. Our beautiful stretch of pleasant but dry weather continues for our area. Highs will generally be in the upper 60s, low 70s. Warmest days Thursday. Highs can reach lower to mid 70s. Low in the upper 30s to 40s is okay. Thursday nights low in the mid 50s. Slight chance rain. Sad. Of course, it's a chance of rain. Finally, back to normal. Chance of rain. On what day was it? Shoot, where would it go? Saturday night. 10th to the 50s, 60s. Oh, a little chilly weekend. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a chance. I'm gonna go on a four-wheeler trip for lunch with my dad and my brother. Yeah. Apparently, I bought a four-wheeler this weekend.
Apparently, you did, huh?
Yeah. Dad bought one like a month or two ago, and then he realized quickly that he's getting a little older and his shoulder, hurts a little to turn it. So he needed to get one with power steering. So then he went and bought one with power steering. And then my brother bought the one that Dad had just bought. And then Matt calls and says, "Hey, you should get a four-wheeler." And I'm like, "Oh, sure."
Like a UTV or a four-wheeler?
A four-wheeler. I don't like the side by side. I think those are dumb. Anyway, so I'm like, "Yeah, sure. That sounds good." Right? Didn't think anything of it. Well, the next day, this was Friday afternoon, Matt sends me a picture of a four-wheeler that he found on Facebook Marketplace because he is on there all the time. That guy spends so much money on Facebook Marketplace. And he said, "Oh, this would be a perfect one," and et cetera. Do you like it? I'm like, yeah, it looks good. I like it a lot. Perfect. Well, then 10 minutes later, he's like, "Yeah, I already got the trailer hooked up. I'm going to Amy to get it right now." And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I text Darusha, and I'm like, "I think we just bought a four-wheeler." She's like, "You think?" I'm like, "I think. I don't know."
You can have that around Spooner. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I called Chief Kronberger, and I'm like, "Okay, I have a four-wheeler now. What are the rules? I don't want to break any laws." He goes, "In Spooner, you can do whatever you want. But you just can't go on Walnut, on 70 or 63, but you can cross those anywhere, and the speed limit is like 15. He goes, "Other than that, you can go on any road you want." And I'm like, "That's weird because Shell Lake has a lot more rules, but in Spooner, just do what you want."
Yeah, no, I think that's what it's about. I mean, a lot of people have them, and I mean, I think it's nice to, instead of getting your Jeep out, you just get your four-wheeler and you run down to the gas station, get milk, and come back.
Yeah, and so tomorrow we're gonna go. The idea was it for Dad, Matt, and I, father, sons, the guys. So tomorrow we're gonna meet at here in Spooner on the trail, and then we're gonna go up to Trigo to the Prime, I think, for lunch. So just it's an opportunity that the three of us can spend together.
All right, perfect.
So that's really the reason, but I don't think I'm going to be using it that much. I've never really been into four-wheeling.
You'll use it around town. Your kid can drive it.
Yeah, Kenneth was asking. He's 15. I'm like, "I think you can. You just have to get like go through a course or something."
Of ATV safety, yep.
Yeah, something.
I think it's online.
Government bureaucry.
That's right. They just need $50 and they'll give you a license.
Exactly right. Anyone born after 1989, this is my brother's telling me, whether it's a four-wheeler, a snowmobile, even a boat, anyone born after 1989 has to take a course. I'm like, I'm not saying that's bad. You can get some good information out of it. But I feel like that's a little, holy cow. You're blowing up.
We're good.
Yeah, it's just another way for them to get some more money.
Right.
Because that's ridiculous. All right, cool. Anything else?
Nope. What do you got this week?
Well, again, lunch tomorrow. I think this is the week, second Thursday. Congressman Tiffany will be on the show this Thursday. Other than that, just regular work. So
Perfect.
awesome. Well, thanks again, Warren, for that.
Yeah, thank you, Warren.
Those coins, strong as steel is forged in the fire of a dumpster. I absolutely love that. It's so fitting. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today, see what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. We'll see you right back here next week for another exciting episode of Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy. So until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.